looking for you. I'm always looking for you. I brushed it off, pushed it aside, but I couldn't help. I was looking for you. Yeah, I was looking for you. I am a hound surrounded. I am the silence in the room. Just a figure in the dark. As if coming for the storm. If I fall, you catch me. Push me back up on my feet. See the strength inside of me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SQ1 Champions League Week 9, Day 2, I believe, when we have our first match of the day between Omega Team and Lao Gan Ma. I'm Kachka, and I will be your play-by-play. Joined with me is Byron.
Hello, guys, and man, am I excited for this matchup. As I am for most matchups in the league right now, considering the playoffs race and the relegations starting to really come to fruition. Now, this match important in both those races when you look at the standings. Lao Gan Ma, they are 10-5. They've been played with consistency, but they have been managing to stay in that top half of the table. And now I want to see them have a dominant victory here. It's what they need. They need this extra push to really get themselves in a good position towards playoffs. On the other side, we have Omega Team. They're sitting at 4-10. They're in that bottom four, and they need to get out of there if they want to avoid relegations.
Definitely. Maybe let's start with the Lao Gan Ma situation, since it is slightly easier to break down. We expected them coming into the split to be towards the top, and well, they technically are, tied for the 4th place. However, if they want to maybe try to fight for that semi-final bye, then this win will be absolutely crucial if they want to secure it. And they are the favorites coming into the match because, as you said, OG or Omega Team right now, they are currently struggling to get out of those relegation spots.
Yeah, and there's one thing to talk about Lao Gan Ma right now because they were expected to be one of the top teams in this league, and now whilst they're sitting at 4th place and tied 4th, it ain't that bad. No one's going to complain when they're at that kind of position, but we were expecting a little bit more from them, and they really need to get themselves together if they want to start making that push into those top 2 to get those playoff buys. And my biggest issue with this team is they're constantly stopping around their roster. It's always a different person every single week. They're switching roles, they're going different lanes, and they need a bit of stability. They need to get a little bit of an identity behind them, because right now I'm looking at that team and they're like, sure, they can carry from anywhere, and that's the scary thing about Lao Gan Ma. But the problem is that a lot of games they kind of can't really fall back on anything that's really solid, and so they're stuck, kind of lost in a lot of the games.
Yeah, right. I mean, you said it really well. Lao Gan Ma, anyone can carry. What that means is that sometimes no one will, and the consistency is the big issue for them. However, they are against OG, and hopefully they will be able to show some of their strengths or fix some of their mistakes. Now, looking at the other side of the rift, Omega Team, they are on only 4 wins. They have got the 8th place, which is the 9th. Yeah, the 9th place, which is the 4th from the last relegation spot. And they need to get quite a few wins if they want to avoid that. And Lao Gan Ma, well, I am sorry, but you kind of need to overcome this team.
Yeah, and there is something to be said here about Omega Team. They're going to be desperate here. You really need to avoid relegations. If your other team not been looking incredibly hot, and with a few new blood coming in, it could be an incredibly scary set of matches to face. So there is an air of desperation around them that they really need to get these last few wins. And against a team like Lao Gan Ma, who are quite inconsistent, I could see an upset happening. It's very possible. And with players like Kurtzai and Rassen playing very solidly for the team, if they start to pop off, if they do very well, I can envision an Omega Team win happening here. So Lao Gan Ma, they need to be on their toes because Omega Team really want this win. They are hungry.
Yeah, and we have, I believe, recently seen quite a few upsets happen in the SQ1 League in between. So, you know, it could happen, and I am looking forward to see that. Especially that Lao Gan Ma, they get even more swaps. Currently, they are sitting in the lobby, and I'm not sure if I really want to call out their roster just yet, because they really love to change, but that is, again, once in a different combination of players, and we'll see how they will be able to stack up, as we should be moving into the draft in a couple of minutes, maybe even seconds.
Ooh, it will be very, very exciting to see. So, looking through the rosters, Sojin is back in the mid lane for Lao Gan Ma. He loves his Corki and his Ari. His Corki especially, he popped off very well against, I believe it was Royal Reapers. He did very well.
I think it was Glorious Gaming, but it was a while back. It was one of the one of the top teams.
One of the double name teams. They always get me. Other people to look at, Suyu is currently sitting in the jungle. He's a Sedge, Lee, Zac, and Kha'Zix player, so keep your eye on those picks during the graph. Ayatsuri, I don't know what he's doing in AD carry. We don't have
he kind of plays many different roles like other obviously Lao Gan Ma players. So yeah, he's gonna be playing ADC this game.
Well, it's a big surprise. And over on the Mega Team, they're playing what we'd kind of expect out of them. Only person that's different is Matt 9418 Revenge coming in the jungle, who does like Jarvan. He's a very, very big player on that one. But looking at specifically two players I was talking about who've been playing very solidly for our mega team, it's Quetzal and it's Rasen. Quetzal, his main picks, Victor and Syndra. He likes playing these champions that can really hold their own in the mid game and can be incredibly scary. And Rasen, he's a big player on the Lucian, the Xayah, etc. A few of the correct ADCs. But Lucian is that big priority pick. A lot of ADCs are loving him right now. He's incredibly strong in solo queue, and I imagine it will be something that both these ADCs will be putting a lot of practice into.
And we will be finally going into the draft. We have OG on the blue side and Lao Gan Ma on the red side. Urgot is going to be the first takeaway.
It will be indeed. Urgot, on the most recent patch, did get a buff so that his W was now a toggle ability at max rank, meaning it costs no mana. You can just pop it off, and it means he's a little bit of a monster in lane, because once he hits that kind of, I think it's level 7, level 8 you're looking at, that's when you really get scary, because you can just pop that for free, and you get kind of harassed a little bit too much. And taking it away, very good thing. I also like taking away the Braum here. You're expecting Rasen to pick something like Lucian, but instead of picking the Lucian away, I like the idea of taking the Braum away, so if he picks the Lucian, you can then kind of counter him in that sense without having to face the beast that is Lucian Braum.
And a bit of a backstory, I mean, not really a backstory, just something that I feel like could be relevant, is last week during the games, I was sitting in some voice chat room with a few of the Lao Gan Ma members, and we were reading through the patch notes, and Ventum said, I really want to play the Stergold. Well, his team said, you're not gonna play it in the jungle. Which, I mean, we haven't seen it. I don't think it's a viable pick right now, a week after the patches came out, but with Ventum being in the top lane, that Ergot ban, I mean, I'm sorry, dude, you're not gonna play it, but there's also the Lucian ban, interestingly. You said it could be left open. Well, LGM still remove it.
Yeah, I mean, Braum Lucian still very strong picks, getting rid of them, I can't really complain about. I thought I would do something interesting, kind of expecting almost, or anticipating a Lucian pick, but they're gonna get rid of it too. But the Lucian Draven both being took away, we're gonna likely be seeing both these AD carries on a crit-based one. Picks like Kai'Sa, Caitlyn, Sivir come to mind as big ones. Tristana too, a lot of teams like that pick. So we'll see what they choose to do. As another ban goes towards Lucio, this time the Morgana.
Yeah, Morgana being a strong support in pretty much anyone's hands, Lucio, I believe, does like to play it quite a bit, so that will be the first phase of those bans. OG, they've got the first pick, they still have 10 seconds on the clock. We'll see what lane, what champion will they decide to prioritize.
I'm really not sure, actually. The Jarvan I quite like. It can flex around lanes. Matt is a very big Jarvan player, but you can also play at top lane, and it can be quite potent there. Also, if Lucio's been practicing it, Jarvan support is a thing. It's a little bit of a meme sometimes, but it can work very, very well. So, still a very good flex pick. Is very easy to first pick, but will likely be going into Matt 9418's hands, as he is a very, very big Jarvan player. As the Vladimir and Deciders come out, interchangeable between the lanes, I like those two.
Yeah, I very much like the power picks that Lao Gan Ma have logged them, since Vladimir, such a strong champion, and we have seen some Vladimirs get absolutely unleashed in the SQ1 Champions League in the past few weeks. As well as Silas, a pretty strong champion. However, Omega team, they are locking themselves some strong engage now with Rakan and Xayah for the bot lane.
Well, now Orion's a must ban versus that team, or Legalio. Those two picks stream out to me as big 1-1 combo picks that are going to synergize fantastic with Jarvan and Rakan. You need to eliminate those, otherwise bad things are definitely going to happen to your backline. That is, if you have a backline though. Vladimir is going to be easily able to access players like Rasen on Desire, because he is that Vladimir, very easy at diving. Silas, decent diver too, so... And then you have a Kai'Sa using her ultimate, her killer instinct, to zoom into the backline. All of a sudden, I'm looking at Rasen, and I'm looking at a Jarvan Rakan that want to go in, and I'm thinking, Rasen, buddy, gotta be careful around this one, because he could just get jumped on.
He could very, very well. And now we've got the three picks. OG, they get Jarvan, Rakan, Xayah, and LGM, they get their Vladimir, Silas, and Kai'Sa. The second phase of the bans, where they focus, well, Lao Gan Ma removing the cannon. They do feel like that Jarvan is gonna go to Mad Revenge, which he has played in his game with Omega team, and he has performed pretty well, so we would expect that to go towards the jungle.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this bot lane goes. Kai'Sa, not having that most insane matchup versus Rakan can get very easily dived on, but I think the later the game goes, the scarier this Kai'Sa is going to become for someone like Rassen, who is very susceptible to getting jumped on. Obviously, does have the Featherstorm, so can use that to try and outplay a possible dive, but there's only so long that lasts for, and he might just die. So I want to see Omega Team bring out some sort of peel tool, maybe in the top lane, the mid lane, just get like a big tank, maybe like Sion, something like that. For Chaos, he does like playing that champion, so that'd be a very big pick for him. I think they could choose, or maybe even something like Lysandra in the mid lane, just to kind of sit around Rassen and say, okay, if you want to go on them, I'm just going to ult you. So just some sort of big CC ability that isn't about going in, but is more about keeping someone like Rassen safe in these fights where they are going to be heading forward. That would be my sort of next area to look at as Omega Team is Lao Gan Ma. They're going to opt for a Bard. Okay, that's a spicy pick. Oh.
Definitely is. I don't remember the last time I have seen Bard being played in any sort of competitive match, even in solo queue. And now I believe John Cleaver will be sitting on that playmaker support. How does it really fit into what Lao Gan Ma are trying to build right now?
Well, like we were talking about, they have a lot of ways to get onto the backline with a lot of damage. So you have Vladimir, Silas, Kai'Sa. They all are decent damage dealers that can very easily get onto your backline and do a lot of damage. Bard really helps with that because not only do you have the teleport through the walls, so you can get a cheeky little backline access there, but also using his ultimate can be very useful for keeping someone safe an extra bit longer. If, say, a Jarvan and a Rakan go in and you just ult them, and you just go and walk and kill their ADC whilst they're stuck there, that can be very, very big. But I'm going to stop myself right there because that's a Katarina pick. Katarina.
It is a Katarina for Quetzal. And I mean, he liked to play mages. He did. In both games that OG have played on stream, that Katarina has been picked. But now he is going to lock it in against Lao Gan Ma, as their finishing pick will be that Lee Sin. So the compositions are gonna get shaped up. I believe it is looking like OG they are going for another Jarvan, Katarina, Xayah, Rakan against Lao Gan Ma's. I'm actually gonna hold myself because I'm not sure they can swap around. But they've got a Kai'Sa, Lee Sin, Silas, Vladimir, and the Bard.
Yeah, they do. And the mid lane matchup is something that I want to have a look at. Katarina, obviously, very much a solo queue champion, but can do a hell of a lot of burst damage. And if Soja is not careful, if Matt 9418 is able to get a good flag and drag off in that mid lane, if they're able to prioritize that area, I could see Quetzal getting 1 kill, 2 kill. All of a sudden, you're looking at 4 kills, 5 kills, and a giant snowball is on your hands. You really don't want to be looking at that. So that mid lane focus is something I expect from both junglers coming into this early to mid game. It's going to be really where my eyes are going to be drawn to. As I think, we see Ventum going for Kai'Sa. I think he's going to be going down to the bot lane, and Ayatsuri will end up going on Vladimir at the top side.
They could do even a triple swap with Sojin on Silas up into the top lane. That would also make sense, I think. Although, I mean, you probably want some sort of CC into a Katarina, because from casting Katarina players, which I actually had pleasure of doing quite a few times, it is a very, very heavy momentum-reliant champion. You either get ahead, or you don't. And when you don't want to be there. You really need to get those kills. Something like even a one roam bot lane, a gunplay that 10 minutes in can seriously win you the entire game. So I do expect Omega Team to play around Quetzal's Katarina in order to get him to that point.
Yeah, and looking at Omega Team's comp, I quite like it. The amount of dive they have is very useful. But the problem is that who are they realistically going to dive? Like, Lee Sin's very mobile, very hard to get on. Vladimir is Vladimir. There's no chance of getting on him. Silas, with the new Aftershock build, he's quite tanky. It's hard to really do a lot to him, plus the shields and the dashes. It becomes hard to do a lot, especially with his heal. And then Kai'Sa, you'd imagine Kai'Sa, but also Kai'Sa can use the killer instincts. And essentially, what we're looking at here is two compositions that want to dive each other at the same time. And I worry about the fact that Rassen doesn't really have the mobility like a Rakan, a Katarina, or a Jarvan and Na. Whereas on the other side, I see every single member, Kai'Sa, Lee Sin, Silas, even Vladimir with a phase rush and throw can get there very fast, and Bard. They all have a decent amount of mobility around kind of getting onto a backline, whereas Rassen is kind of going to be sat there. So if the rest of his team go and dive, and then the other team, if Lao Gan Ma go and dive, Rassen is kind of left on his own whilst the rest of his team's diving, and that can worry me, but it can also work very well. If Rasmussen's able to burn a lot of time from people like Vladimir, Silas, Lee Sin, Kaiser trying to jump on him, and on the other side of the fight, his team's winning, and they get like 3 kills when they spent like 3 people to try and just kill Rassen, that could be incredibly big. The problem is, if he just gets picked off whilst his team's kind of stuck half diving, then they can just be kind of pincered on. So that's my worry in team fights. However, I look at the laning phase, and I'm really excited to see Omega Team and see if they can snowball, because Zyra Khan, incredibly strong duo. From what I saw, it's nearly at the point where it was about a season ago, where it was pick ban pretty much all the time, because it was legitimately insane. Katarina mid is obviously a huge snowball pick, and Na, whilst being quite a stable pick, I can see being a very snowbally too.
Yeah, I mean, not in the top lane. He's a very, as you said, a lane bully that can get those leads, and also pretty good all-round champion going to go for Chaos. Still, not sure who he's gonna go up against, since Lao Gan Ma have so much of that flex potential, but the snowball is there. Pretty much any single of those Omega Team lanes can get there. However, maybe let's look at the other side of the map, because you have a Lee Sin for Tsuyu, and well, that is a jungler. Definition, you want to go into those lanes, get those kills. So where are you really looking at in terms of the champions?
Well, it obviously depends what lanes Lao Gan Ma really choose to go with their champions. If I'm anticipating what I'm anticipating, it's probably going to be Silas mid, Vladimir top, and Kaiser AD carry, but it could switch around. It could be Vladimir mid, Silas top. But like I said, Katarina is a champion you want to shut down. She has an incredibly high potency to snowball. If she gets ahead, she will take over the game, and if she gets behind, she won't do anything in this game. So your job as a jungler, both these junglers, Matt's goal, get Katarina ahead. Tsuyu's goal, get Katarina behind. That is where they're looking at. It's exactly how I expect this game to go. The problem is if you're on the side of Lao Gan Ma, do you really want to create that much action around a Katarina? And that's the question they're going to be asking themselves. Do they want to invest jungle resources mid and try and shut down Quetzire and make sure he can never get to a point where he's scary? Or do we just want to play it passive, just play it chilled, and use pressure somewhere else, such as the top side or the bot side?
Alright, we will be getting into the game in a minute or so, so guys, let us know in the chat, who do you think is going to win this game? Both of these teams, they are fighting for the postseason standings. Omega Team, they want to get out of those relegations, and Lao Gan Ma, they want to get upper in those playoffs. They are sitting in a very comfortable spot. They might have been already locked in. If not, then they are extremely close, so there is quite a bit on the line for both of those teams.
Yeah, this game that we talked about, incredibly big for both the playoff race and the relegation battle. Both will be impacted by the result of this game, and now we should be heading in fairly soon. No big things to look at in terms of the runes. They all seem fairly standard. For people who don't know, Na is obviously for PTA a lot of the time now, just to kind of combo his free hit passive that and really be that lane bully that you kind of expect Na to be a lot of the time.
Yeah, also Mad Revenge going for an Electrocute Jarvan. Once again, something that is fairly standard, but it gives you a lot of early game burst damage if you are playing that Jarvan. So we could be seeing him being very aggressive in the execution of these ganks. I am now waiting to see where the laners of Lao Gan Ma will be going as we are loading into the Rift. And, well, Lao Gan Ma, they are moving as a 5.
Yeah, they're not letting you know anytime soon. We're going to have to wait until they all head up. But a 5-mana invade could be especially spicy as they head down towards the Tribush. Oh man, it's going to sit in the River Mish actually.
They actually haven't been spotted yet. They will be able to successfully go into the jungle without being observed. Lucio on this Rakan, he is waiting. If he oversteps, he could be a very dead support. But right now, Lao Gan Ma, they just seem to be very hesitant. They don't want to overcommit.
Yeah, and the problem is there. Look at the other side of the map. Whilst Lao Gan Ma were very hesitant with their invade, you see Omega Team, they're very happy going in for their invade, and now they took control of the red buff. This could put C behind if he doesn't know what's happening here, and I do kind of worry for him there if he does end up getting caught out. But we do see Vladimir looks to be going towards the top side, and he could spot out them doing the red buff. I doubt he will, though they are just sitting in the bush as of right now.
Yeah, he's walking out. However, Chaos Mad Revenge, they don't want to reveal their position. That's actually so clever. You don't want to fight, you just want to take that red buff and get as much as possible.
Yeah, and they're going to have no idea they're doing this red buff until it's too late, as Sojin looking to see if he can get some early lane pressure. He was stepping up incredibly aggressive there, but I do quite like that, challenging the Katarina in the early levels. You just have to wait for that level 3 for Katarina. That's when she starts jumping around, using her shrimp pose, having all the daggers available, and that's where the burst damage really comes to fruition. So, eyes on that. However, Sojin, decent early pressure coming out, and the jungle start, I really like that, just taking the red buff and then leaving. And that's the most important part, because if he stayed in the Raptors, it's very likely he could have been spotted out. And so just leaving there means that Lee Sin's going to be none the wiser until about the 3-minute mark, the 4-minute mark, and that's even if he chose to go up and do his Raptors, but he's chose not to. In fact, he's going to go down towards River, and it's looking like they might be heading towards the other red buff. They might have known this. Oh my god, they have.
They probably did realize at one point that it could be happening. I'm not sure if that ward
I know why.
Matt Revenge.
Yeah, the Pixel Brush ward spotted him. That's my small brain working there. Great placement by Sojin there. Essentially, they spotted Java walking out of the jungle, and that meant that Lee Sin knew.
Yeah, so I mean, good early map control. This is why you want to get those wards. They allow you to get this sort of information.
The junglers.
Yeah, they are both sitting around this mid lane. Sojin positioning aggressively. Both mid laners trying to set up for this gang. All summoners are available. Quetzal already half HP. He goes in with that shampoo. The ignite is down. There is a Sonic Wave. Good interrupt from Mother Edge. And now Sojin is dropping. Oh, the first blood will go over to Omega Team now too. He's just going to try to disengage. Good gang coming through. And Omega Team get a rescue. Oh, the Sonic Wave rescue flash away. Don't get tried. Quetzal. They're going back in. Two is going to get a first kill. Teleport coming in from Sojin. He's going to get a change on the matter range. Forces the flash over the wall. Tsuyu is not done yet. He finds the Q, but he will not go forward. And overall, the trade goes 1 for 1.
My man's telling me no. Man, that was a good play by both teams. Oh my god, the Trav gets the kill. What the hell?
Oh, he does get a kill, and look at Chaos! He's going to get dove under the top lane tower! So many kills! However, it is still a 2 for 2.
My goodness, I don't know how to analyze what just happened, because that was a lot of fights happening at the same time. I assumed that Tsuyu tried to go back onto Mat 914, 914, but the point is that he was around the Raptor camp. I imagine he got aggroed there. Java managed to get a Flag and Drag, and then he died. It's very unfortunate. And now, Mat 9418, he's sitting on 2 kills. He's doing very well for himself. Mid lane is in favor of Sojin still, but the gank overall was in favor of the side of Omega Team. However, top side, what we did manage to spot on the camera was that Ayatzuri managed to get a solo kill onto Chaos. Both his summoners are now down, and Ayatzuri still has his flash available. So this top lane could get very scary very quickly as a gank. Happens spot.
Yeah, the Grand Entrance coming through. John Cleaver already flashing away. He's ignited down. The kill going to go over to Lucian. Now Ventum trying to escape. He's got the flash. There is the safeguard from Tsuyu. He wants to keep his AD carry alive. He misses the Sonic Wave in the mid lane. The mid laners are trading once again. However, the kill is going to get picked up by Omega Team. Quetzal, Sojin. They keep trading the blows. Katarina is definitely the one getting the short end of that trade. But Sojin, he has to run away, and he will in the end.
Yeah, and oh my god, kills just happening everywhere. This is the kind of game I like to watch. Obviously, your throat probably doesn't appreciate this kind of gameplay, but I really do enjoy it. And now you see the power of the Zyra Rakan there. Rakan gets the extra range on his dashes, which means he can get in that extra little bit further and dip in, dip out. It's very hard to deal with, and Lucio manages to get the engage onto John Cleaver and gets the kill. However, one thing to look at, this top side, someone just mentioned in Twitch chat, that is a Medjai's Soul Stealer already bought by it. Sorry, he is so confident about this lane.
I did want to mention that before, but I had to wait for the action to wind down. Ayatsui, Vladimir, Medjai so early on into the game. And he is doing very well. Maybe not really in terms of CS, but whenever I look at the top lane, he has got the pressure over Chaos. And Lao Gan Ma as a team, they have been known to utilize this Vladimir to great extent.
Yeah, and now it will get scary, because if you're Chaos, right, you should really get in the mindset where you see this rush and you're like, okay, they're going to try and go aggressive top. We're just going to let it be, play even, play safe. Problem is that if you play safe versus Vladimir, you're giving him rescaling, and that can be very, very awkward to deal with, because the late game Vladimir is very scary. However, you see right there, Chaos just takes so much damage, and now Lee Sin's there for the gank.
He's waiting under this tower. Chaos, no flash, no level 6, so he doesn't even have access to his ultimate. So now jumping forward. Hemoplague, I don't believe, has connected. That's a nice dodge away. Flash forward, ignite is gonna take Chaos down. One more auto attack will do it. And Nayatsuri picks up his second kill of the game.
Oh, he's already at 6 stacks. Good God. This Vladimir, this is going to be very careful, very, very scary. Because last time I remember seeing a Vladimir around in top lane, it was in another game where they completely took over, got a pentakill. It was absolutely horrid. And now,
it looks to...
oof.
It looks to repeat this story, I feel like. If you look at the kills, if you look at the CS, Nayatsuri is getting a lot of resources. As Rasen gets his recall interrupted, he's just gonna take a bit of damage. But Omega team, they kinda need to do something now. Because that Vladimir is gonna get only more and more dangerous.
Yeah, and this Katarina pick that I told you was Feast or Famine, right now, certainly in the middle of a famine. 28 CS to 43 in the mid lane, and no kills either side. It is exactly what Surgeon really wants from this lane, and it's exactly what Quetzal doesn't want, as a gank happens with top again.
Chaos manages to hop away too, taking a lot of damage. One more auto attack, however, Nayatsuri zoning away the Gnar. Chaos unable to close in for that kill. Tsuyu commanding so much pressure, he wants to make sure that Nayatsuri's Vladimir gets fed.
Yeah, and well, he's certainly doing his job right now. You look at the gold lead, and it's an over 1k gold lead for Nayatsuri. Currently, Chaos sitting at around 2140. And Nayatsuri sitting on 3272. And Rasen!
Look at
Rasen!
No! He's gonna get ignited! John Cleaver picks up the kill!
Buddy! Oh, Rasen!
That's unlucky recall timing, to say the very least.
Yeah, you can certainly say that as now a level disadvantage for Quetzal in this match.
Well, Sojin has hijacked the Death Lotus. However, he gets locked up by the Cataclysm. Here comes Quetzal. He's gonna drop low. It will be a 1-for-1 trade in the end. John Cleaver looking for his revenge onto Matt, who's gonna flag and drag away. There is the Tempered Weight finding his mark. Lucio comes in for the help. Grand Entrance does not find its knock up over to Jungler. Will get out with this life. Here comes Tsuyu. He misses the Sonic Wave, and Lucio should be able to get out of the tower. That's a nice Cosmic Binding. He will take even more damage, but in the end, I believe that might have just been another 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, and that 1-for-1, I actually really like for Quetzal. Sure, he burnt his flash and his ignite just for a 1-for-1, but at the same time, you are as Katarina, you need kills desperately. You want to get ahead, and so getting that kill so important for this carry, because now able to get a little bit of extra gold in the pocket, able to get yourself a Bloodwater Cutlass to boot. Like, it's important to get this goal, because right now you're sitting so far behind in CS. You need to make stuff happen, otherwise come the mid game, from the mid game, you're going to be a non-factor.
However, let's look at who is actually doing very well for the side of Omega team, and it is Mad Revenge on this Jarvan. 2-0-2, 100% kill participation, has completed the Warrior enchantment before 10 minutes. He will still be relevant for at least some more time, and he can make those ganks happen.
Yeah, very excited team. However, let's say C hasn't been doing well himself. There's only a 300 gold difference between the two junglers. So he's done a very good job at least tracking where Mat 9418 is going to be. There were a few ganks that did go the wrong way, but he has been doing fairly well himself. As now engaged.
Oh, Venom, he's going to get knocked up. There is the kill with the Black Order to last, and Havertz gets a nice kick, and then the target is charmed up. The Hellbars are solo for Mega Team, and Rasen is going to be the third casualty. Lao Gan Ma, they get 3 kills in the bot lane.
That was incredibly well played by Lao Gan Ma, and they bait out the engage very well, and all of a sudden players like Tsuyu are there in a flash, and they just turn that fight completely. Rasen did not have his ultimate up for that whole fight, so when he gets kicked into the tower, he's forced to just flash out into the middle of 3 members. He probably should just let himself die there, but it was a real tough call to make, and now you're looking at an ADC with no summoners, and I tell you what, that Lee Sin, that Bard, they are frothing at the mouth. They really want to get some more kills there.
The playmaking capability of those two champions just makes it so easy to walk up to pretty much anyone with the proper setup and find the kills. Lao Gan Ma's team, 3,000 gold ahead at 11 minutes. These guys, they're just looking to snowball.
Oh my god, and Chaos, he's getting forced out of his tower, but here come Mat 9418.
Yes, well, that's good sign now. That's a 3 versus 1 in the top lane. The Hemoplague ain't gonna do nothing. And Tsuru trying to escape, but the shutdown will be picked up by the Katarina.
And that is a lot of gold going over to the Katarina, and now the gold is actually fairly even in the lane. Only 20 gold between it, so they are dead even. despite the fact that the TSS discriminatory is so in favor of Sojin. Sojin now getting a hold of a few things, but could get caught out if he mispositions in this mid lane, as it looks like he's going under the tower.
Talking about getting caught out, look at Chaos. Tsuyu is coming for him in this top lane. Does he have the kick? The answer is no. That's a nice Nara ultimate. However, the Sonic Wave, the Resonant thing, trying the wall up, finds the stun. Chaos flashing away, but at least in stolen chase. Middle line, the mid lane. Sojin is locked up by the Cataclysm. He has hijacked the Featherstone. Will utilize it now. Tsuyu's on his killing spree in the top lane. In the meantime, and Quit Saya gets his third kill on the Katarina.
Yeah, and now this Katarina starting to get going, but unfortunately, Chaos does get killed on the top side, and it means the lane will be pushed very freshly for Vladimir to start taking some platings and possibly a tower if the jungler stays around. However, they recognize at least at the top, and I really like this move from Mega Team, just going down, getting the Infernal. You know you're going to be able to get this now that the jungler's shown.
John Cleaver looking to contest at least a little bit. He does get a nice tempered fade. However, Rasen is there to zone away, and the Mad Revenge will be easy able to pick up the kill. Look at now Chaos in his top lane. He doesn't have the Mega Nar form, and the teleport is being challenged by Sojin. Can he get a massive stand as the Devils in the backline? Quick side just looked up, taken down. Now Mad Revenge, he's looking for those kills. He jumps onto Venom. He's gonna get the kill with those auto attacks. Sojin and John Cleaver all dropping low. However, so it's Rasen. Lucio dashing it. Without Venegas will miss it. Rasen in the backline taken down by Sojin, who gets a double kill with the Silas. And now Mad Revenge looking for those kills.
You don't get to breathe.
Yeah, now Ayatsuri Kai's in the top lane. Tsuyu gets the Sonic. That's a nice double roll for this Gnar. And the follow-up will not be there. This fight was just all over the place.
Oh my goodness, you see the power of Sojin on this side that's right there. Not only is he able to burst down the Katarina incredibly quickly, but also you see at the end of that fight, he uses his dash to full efficiency, getting himself to a little bit of a higher health bar, and it means that it's super hard to deal with the Silas when he has that extra sustain in the fight, when he has that pro about proc, and he just deletes and cleans up that fight. Very well played. However, it's a bit botched, just to say that. It is there are a lot of fights going on here, and I'm not sure it's the kind of fights that both teams want to take. As now the Katarina, pretty 3-3. Sure, whilst Sojin has about a 500, 600 gold lead right now, at the same time, this Katarina shouldn't be getting that much gold considering the fact that she's done so little CS.
And she also now has the Gunblade. Chaos actually jumping onto Ayatsuri. Hemoplague has had to be utilized. Chaos needs to be very careful. The nullifying orb and the Hex Drinker will make sure he stays alive. I say close call now. Rasen stand up in this ball lane. Ventum looking for the damage. The heal had to be get, and that is a double tempered fade. Rasen, he will get stand up with the Cosmic Binding. Lucio is next. Ventum looking for that kill, and in the top lane now, that's a 1-2 Ayatsuri. He has got the empowered heal. The Cataclysm coming out, and Mad Revenge will be able to get a kill.
Yeah, Matt Revenge sticking a little bit of ELR right now. It's 100% kill participation, only one death to his name, secured 2 dragons, but unfortunately, it's not enough right now. The bot lane of Zyra, which I was expecting to have a lot of priority, losing out, is now a fight seems to be happening in the river.
Yeah, oh, Sojin dashing for all the chaos, and the Quit Saya, she's just gonna be able to get the kill. It will be equalized once again in the end.
My goodness, Shay just getting the last hit on that kill. Nice to see his Saya could be getting caught out.
Yeah, John Cleaver dashing forward with a magical journey. He gets a double stand with a Cosmic Binding, and Tsuyu will get the kills. That's a double for the Lee Sin.
Yeah, and now double kill for Tsuyu means he's going to be able to secure the Scott out. I don't know if he's going to go for the Herald or not. He does know the jungler isn't going to be up for 15 more seconds, but instead he's opting to invade and get rid of Matt 9418's camps.
This game is so crazy. Mad Revenge literally has got 100% kill participation. But however, Ayatsuri, death cap at 15 minutes on a Vladimir. This guy is going full damage and he's not afraid to use it.
Oh man, yeah, Hex Drinker, Merc Treads, all bought from Chaos. Oh no! That's an AD user!
Yeah, that is AD damage, and that is a dead Gnar. John Cleaver with a flank on this bot lane. Rasen looking to get the damage. There is the quickness coming in from Lucio. That's a great sand boom from Ayatsuri. He pops down the Hemoplague, and Rasen is cut down where he stands. Lao Gan Ma get another 2 kills.
Oh no, and I see you trying to get a 1v1 onto Matt 9418 Revenge. Of course, eyes here. Whoa, 1k
gold. 1000 gold shutdown. Katarina Sojin, he hijacked the Cataclysm, and that will be a kill onto Matt. Quit Saya on this Katarina. He wants to get out. Or does he want to go in? He pops the But he pops the bouncing dagger, and so much is going on this game. We are only 60 minutes in, and already 33 kills have gone down.
Oh my god, 33 kills in 6. That's more than 2 a minute. And this is the early game, folks.
I'm already feeling it.
Uh-oh, that's the dive coming in.
Oh, that tempered face. Sojin getting the Epscon. Quetsaya looking to turn it around. Venom is dropping down. Quetsaya is gonna stay alive. That's a kill picked up by Lucio. And John Cleaver not quite confident to go in. Quetsaya has got so much life steal, and he will be able to survive the dive.
And these teams are just so willing to throw themselves at each other at every single opportunity. You see it right now as well. Hey, it's Suri. Didn't he miss positions at the bot side here? They're going for the engage.
That's a good magical journey take. However, there is so many members from OG chasing the boomerang throw from Chaos, not connecting. However, Quetsaya, 6th skill of the game. That's the point where Katarina starts becoming scary.
Oh, you should know. Don't fight around the Katarina or try and shut her down. Those are your 2 options. And right now, you had her shut down. And then you just, they've been forcing fights way too much, and whilst it has worked out in some areas, look at the Vladimir becoming incredibly strong, Lee Sin's quite strong, Silas is decently strong too. The problem is he gave Katarina a way back into this game, and now it is so scary. There's another fight's gonna break out.
Oh, yeah, so you're taking the Resonating Strike and the second Infernal picked up by OG. The fight is gonna break out. That is flashing away from that Cataclysm. Chaos in the backline. He's dropping low on this Nar. Here comes Sujin. He's not the hijacked. Rasen is going to drop down. So is Matt. Quetsaya trying to run away, but the chains are gonna get him. That's a double kill for Sujin. 4 kills for Lao Gan Ma, looking to make it the 5th. Chaos under the tower. And then that attack from Ventum will seal the deal. That's an ace at 18 minutes.
Yeah, that is the ace, and whilst Katarina and Javan are quite strong, can't say the same for the Zyla, Rakana, the Nar. They've been put behind super far, and at this point, it becomes an incredibly hard mountain for Omega team to climb, because if Lao Gan Ma were to play this clean, safe, play the macro game, it would be very, 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 very difficult to stop them. However, Lao Gan Ma, they seem to be very eager to go for a lot of these fights, and that's what worries me here, and that's your way back into the game as a Mega team. It's just keep taking these fights. If they're going to run in the tower and kill you, just outplay it. As Rasen, no.
You cannot outplay that much damage. I just heard to watch.
Yeah, you're right. There's no real way to outplay that. Your ultimate's on cooldown. Possibly a heal would have helped, but I don't think it would have been able to survive for long enough, as looks like an engage could happen bot side now.
Yeah, Matt, he has joined the fray. Have a look how quickly his HP is dropping. Quetsaya now jumps in that Katarina. Tsuya is gonna get the kill. He tries to dash out, however he cannot escape, and that will be yet another 1-for-1. As John Cleaver in that rush will get spotted out, and Quetsaya just...
And one thing I want to point out right now, look at the farm differential in every single lane and the jungle. This is disgusting. Omega team, they seem to have kind of forgot that CS exists, and you've got champions now like Katarina who are getting less than, what is that? That's less than 5 CS per minute. That is really unfortunate. I mean, that's going to quickly change, and they've got their hands on the wave, but what is this? I don't know how to analyze this game right now. It is so difficult, because realistically, the game should be over for Omega team. You know, Rasen, Lucio, Chaos, all can't really do much. Maybe Lucio, you know, he's a Rakan, he doesn't really need to be fed, but Rasen and Chaos are doing so little in these fights that I do worry for them. But at the same time, these fights happen, all of a sudden Quetsire and Matt948 are there, and they make a big play, and it's like, okay, never mind, it's kind of going even, and they keep it back for the team. It seems to be that these two players are just playing out of their minds and keeping their team desperately in the game. The problem is, how long can they do it? Because Jarvan and Katarina, they do start to fall off, whereas champions like Kaiser and Vladimir, who have been slow building, now they're going to get incredibly far ahead. Oh,
they are. Oh my goodness!
Oh,
bye bye, Rasen.
Rasen's literally died 2 times per minute at this point. That is not very good. That is one way to put that one.
Well, look at Sojin in this ball lane. 1 versus 2. He hijacks the death load as well. The Shadow Mode might revenge Lucio in the top lane, trying to escape from John Cleaver. Gets slowed by that Cosmic Binding. That's a nice tempered fade onto the tower too. He gets the Sonic Wave. He falls in with that Resonating Strike, and Venom gets the kill. John Cleaver picks up another, and as he said, Lao Gan Ma, they are closing their grasp on this game.
Yeah, and the worry is, the longer this game goes on, I would favor Lao Gan Ma's comp more and more, but...
Oh, Ayatsui, he has to go into the Sanguine Pool. That's a great sound to quit say he's unable to follow. And John Cleaver, I think he's the unsung hero on the bar. He jumps forward once again. The one more attack will do it. Rasen, he goes into the Feather Storm and bye-bye. Another kill onto 2.
Oh, this is unfortunate to watch. It's sad. I mean, I like what Lao Gan Ma are doing right now. They're now aware that it isn't just a case of they win a few fights. They win the most of these fights now, and the fact that they've got their skating carry so far ahead means that they're so willing to take these. However,
Ayatsui now once again the Sanguine Pool, but he's solo. I don't think he can escape. No, he cannot. Kotsaya will get the kill.
oh, and then as soon as I talk about them, you know, finally taking good fights, they just get caught out like this, and oh man, Lao Gan Ma get stuck. They take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and that will get you there in the end.
Like
oh
Kotsaya now, Tsuyu, so much damage, 11-3-9 on the Lee Sin. He's just one-shotting people left, right, and center.
Yeah, he is, and now Vincent, we see his E there. He gives him so much movement speed and means that this Rakan is incredibly hard to utilize against the Kaiser, as now Match is getting deleted.
Oh my goodness, the Void Seeker Ventum! He's gonna pick up the kill, Tsuyu on this backline, on the Lee Sin, double kill. Tempered Fate trolls his team. John Cleaver, well that's an unlucky one, but I don't think it matters in the end, as 4 kills picked up by Lao Gan Ma.
Jesus Christ, Surely at this point you just go to the Baron? That would be my kind of macro call. And yeah, they're gonna go for it. I don't really see a way that they can test this unless Katarina somehow teleports over to the Baron pit and then is able to use her ultimate and just, you know, the Death Voters just burst everyone down, but she's nowhere near that. They've pretty much given it up. You know, they're not gonna be able to do much about it. They're gonna head towards the Inferno and try and get that one in reply, but Ayatsui is doing it himself. We'll see if he's able to secure it, as it looks like both teams on their way.
I mean, 3 Infernals. Oh, Kotsaya getting the steal, and he gets the kill. That is some nice plays coming in from the mid laner of Omega team.
Help me with the maths here. It says that Katarina killed the Infernal Dragon twice. Not sure if you guys are getting this on stream, but there's currently 4 dragons. I'm not sure there's been 4 dragons took yet.
Yeah, no, I think it might be a spectator bug.
God bless Riot. They love their spectators. But, you know, oh my goodness, Rasen's had a really unfortunate game. So was Chaos, so was, like, and they just played fairly decent. But Rasen and Chaos, they've been one-shot and killed and destroyed at every single turn. They really need to be more careful about where they're placing, because they now know this Lee Sin will one-shot you, this Vladimir will one-shot you, this Silas probably will one-shot you, this Kaiser will one-shot you. There's so many of these champions that will just kill you, and you need to be so careful.
Venom can just kill anything, so away from that Cataclysm. And those fights are going so chaotically, but I just want to quickly mention John Cleaver, because his part has been so impressive. The place he has been able to set up, as well as all the damage. He is really the unsung hero for Lao Gan Ma, I feel.
Oh man. Yeah, now Omega team kind of stuck in their base. They're gonna hope, and I think I can imagine this happening. Lao Gan Ma go for some dodgy dive, and they kind of mess it up. They had the ramp right now. They should just cleanly siege, have like 1 person bot, 4 people mid, have that kind of 4-1 setup. Even do a 1-3-1 if you really want to. You have a lot of TPs. However, well, Benson just spent his. But now it's at the point where they really need to see if they can get Lao Gan Ma to force a bad fight, because that's kind of the aim. But right now, Lao Gan Ma playing a surprisingly... Oh, never mind, there's a fight.
Ayatsui in the backline, he's gonna get a kill, so there's no way he survives. That's already the first member of OG down. That's a nice nar. Goes back Soldier into the tower. Have a look at man. He just deleted in the backline. Rasen doing whatever he can with Saya. He's trying to turn this fight around. He's gonna get the kills. I mean, he's gonna finally drop the Tsuyu after getting the triple. However, that's an ace in favor of Omega team.
I told you, man, get them to force a bad fight, and then they will lose it, and that's exactly what happened right there. They go in, it looks really good, they get the kill down at the bottom of the hero play, it's going very well, and all of a sudden, they forget that Quetzire existed. And trust me, it's very easy, there's Katarina at mid-game, and yeah, it's fine. Then all of a sudden, your backline's dead. Quetzire does it again, 12-7-7 now, so many kills. He actually has over half of his team's kills on this Katarina, and Jesus Christ, it's
Yeah.
very, very, very difficult to deal with. And once he does go down in that fight, he saves the game, I would say, pretty much there for his team in Omega. And now, the question is now, what do you really do as Omega team? You can push in mid, possibly get the tier 1 if you're feeling a little bit risky, as Rasen is certainly feeling like that. The problem is he could get dove, so has to be very, very careful. It's so hard though to get priority on the map because the way they win games, the way they win these fights now, is getting Lao Gan Ma themselves to force the fights on them and then punish that botched fight. It's very hard to do though, but never mind.
Oh, John Cleaver, he's gonna overextend. However, Rasen picks up his 4th kill, and we said he's got a very unlucky game on Zaya. 4-10 and 4 doesn't even finish 2 items, but once you hit this low, you can only go up. And Rasen in last fight, he did deal some damage. It's only gonna get better, and you've got triple Inferno. So even though Lao Gan Ma, they got very good scaling, I wouldn't say it is uncontested.
Yeah, one thing I want to quickly touch on as well is Katarina as a champion. Like you said in Champ Select, very hard dealing with CC. But the problem is right there is they don't save any of their CC to deal with Katarina. So when she goes into the backline and bursts everyone, there's no one there who can just be like, all right, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to kick you away. I'm going to drag you down. I'm going to use the Bardstone. There's nothing there that they can really use. And now with the Banshee's Veil, it makes it even harder to deal with Quetzara in your backline. It's someone who they really need to focus more than anyone else in these fights because she is the one who's going to make or break the fights now.
2 and Mother Revenge, they see each other in the jungle, they just exchange cooldowns and will go their separate ways. The dragon spawning in 30 seconds, you're only 27 minutes in, so that is still an elemental dragon, and to be precise, it is a Cloud one as Dragon's Rage has been already committed, so that cooldown won't be there for 2.
Oh man, now, looking at the objective control, Lao Gan Ma still have the push around the lanes. Thanks to the inhibitor wave coming through in the mid lane, so it means they can start pushing against the river, get themselves some wards. They have a few around the Baron pit, and now they're looking towards the next dragon. Let's have a look at what that one is going to be. It's going to be a Cloud Drake, not the most valued Drake in the game, but it is going to help Lao Gan Ma with their rotations, and it has got a little bit better over the years. It isn't the Clown Drake of old. It is very useful, so we'll see what they're able to do with it as they do secure it. They are able to use that smite button, unlike some junglers I know. And now they're going to be heading up towards the Baron pit, and they're going to go for their fight. And it seems like every team, it seems like the person who doesn't force the fight is the one who ends up winning. And now if they're able to go into the Baron, that could be exactly how they kind of force the fight. They do the Baron, bait someone like Quetzara in, pick him up before they can do enough damage, and that's how you really win that fight. Oh my goodness!
Jumping forward, he's gonna get knocked up under the tower! Now he has to dash out, he still has got the GA, it will be popped! However, the Baron is alive, if the jungler falls down, it could be potentially very huge, and it will be the kill! Matt gets the first one of the fight, Venom is still alive, all of the members are he still has got the heal like Chaos, he's jumping forward, he's gonna die! Rasen is standing in front line, that's a double kill for Venom! He's dashing into the backline with Saya, with the Death Lotus, he cannot do enough! He will fall down to Sojin! And that is 3 kills for Lao Gan Ma. They might be looking to finish the game.
Yeah, they might be able to. Look at the death time is 30 seconds, the lowest, and that's on Chaos, the 0999 nah. So you really need to see if you can do something now. 9-4-18 Revenge and Lucio, they have a lot of CC between them, but they really need to lock someone down very, very quickly, otherwise this game will be over. They don't have an incredible amount of CC. As 9-4-18, gonna see what he can do here.
Yeah, Matt Revenge looking to buy so much time, however, can't even do it! That's the kill onto Lucio, that's the kill onto Jarvan, the Nexus is exposed, and this game was anything but clean, but Lao Gan Ma will take it in the end.
And you see right there the desperation from both teams in these races really coming in there, taking some antsy fights. But Lao Gan Ma, with their better players, seem to be able to secure the victory. Shout out to Quetzara and Matt 9-4-18. They did play. Oh no, the game's not over yet! What?
Oh, the game isn't over. However, there are the minions. And oh my goodness, Lao Gan Ma, don't do that! Don't BM! That was too close. That was too close, but they get the win in the end.
Yeah, for a second I was like, oh wait, is that game genuinely not over? It wouldn't have actually surprised me, but that game, incredibly well played, but I wouldn't say incredibly well played. They played out some of the fights very, very well. I would say their macro play in terms of when they're taking fights, it was a little bit shaky. They really should have known, okay, there's certain fights we just shouldn't take, but eventually their mechanical prowess seemed to shine through a little bit further, and they were the ones who took home the game. So, yeah, look at the damage graph. Katarina.
Yes.
Damage.
Katarina.
That is a champion that exists in League of Legends. If we quickly touch on a play-by-play before we not play-by-play, a MVP. As we
I'm
head
the
towards the
play-by-play,
break.
so you know.
Yeah, you are indeed. Who would you choose? Because I'm honestly torn. There are a lot of big players in
know.
Lao Gan Ma.
I genuinely, I think I have to go with Tsu personally, just because he has been very consistent in this mid game. But John Cleaver on this part, he has impressed me so much with his playmaking. But I mean, hey, I'm a play-by-play caster. I like flashy things, so you know, I think Tsu.
I think, honestly, Wasu did a lot. My MVP is probably going to go to Ayatsuri, just because of how hard he shut down Chaos. It meant that he couldn't do anything in these fights. You saw the fact that this Vladimir got this early aim lead, took over the top side, and there was like 1 or 2 ganks from Suyu, and then Ayatsuri was just left on his own, and he did an incredibly good job. But also in those fights, he did so much damage. He outputted so much, and also it allowed the rest of his team to have the jungle pressure. You saw what happened bot. It was an absolute massacre, and it was because Suyu was constantly there whenever they engaged, and it was thanks to Ayatsuri they had that, because he was able to hold his own in the top lane, take over, and Chaos could do nothing.
Yeah, that is fair, I think. I mean, we are no people to really decide on those MVPs. However, that is, I think, what we went for. We will have another game after that. It will be Omega Team. Once again, this time they get all the stream time. Then it will be against Unknown Enemy. That will be a very, very tight match when it comes to implications for both.
I'm going with UE.
I don't know. I think it's a match that you guys have to be brought to you by Duckling, I believe, and Sherlock, since Dark still couldn't be here. So we will have Duckling subbing in. And for us, for now, I think this will be it. So thank you for tuning in for this game. We will be back after a short break.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to SQ1 Champions League. We are at week 9, day 2, and this is game 2 of the day. It's gonna be Unknown Enemy versus Omega Team. I am your play-by-play caster for this game, Duckling, and with me, I have a new guy who's not actually played. What is going on? It is Sherlock.
Hello guys, how are you going? I'm sure I'll be casting with Darkling today. Fortunately, Dark Seal is not available, so we got together with Darkling, said, hey, you want to cast this game? I said, sure.
Unfortunately, you had to take a step down in a caster buddy there, but you know, bad things happen sometimes, and you gotta do with me today.
Yeah.
And we also have a game we have to do with today, and it's gonna be an exciting one.
For sure, UE versus OG. So, unfortunately, Darkling, I have a bad news for you. We were all about the UE hype train for the last few weeks. But unfortunately for UE, ERG retiring from the league means
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, they withdrew. Sorry.
Yeah, withdrew, but
So, ERG withdrawing from the league means that UE are now in a pretty bad spot if they want to lock in the last playoff spot, because they haven't played their 2 ERG games, and they did play one last week though. I'm just correcting myself. So they did play one last week and they won. And now they don't have that win anymore because the games got voided. And Sea Dogs still have 3 wins above UE. So if UE wants to make it to playoffs and get above Sea Dogs, they have to win every single game from now on, especially the one they will be playing next week against Sea Dogs. So every game counts for UE from now on.
Every single game counts. And if you're on the side of UE, you might look at this game and think, okay, this should be a controllable win for us. We should be able to get this win, and we should... Like, this is a game we can't drop. This is what they're thinking coming into this. But they must not underrate an opponent. Obviously, I don't think they will do this. They aren't at the top of the standings themselves. But we do have this fact that head-to-head also comes into account when we come into playoffs. First of all, they need to beat Sea Dogs next week and go undefeated, since they have one more game against ELG that is going to be a draw, so no one gets the win. That will hurt them a lot comparing to the fact that Sea Dogs don't. And Unknown Enemy are in an unlucky spot currently when we come to head-to-head. They have previously played earlier in the split with a completely different roster. Only Colin remains. And he now has built this new team, but they lost to almost every single team. They lost to OG just when they rebuilt, where the French team didn't practice at all. So then they lost to OG. And if they lose this one again, they are going to be having such a hard time to get into playoffs. It will almost be impossible, I think.
Yeah, I think if they drop a game, it's going to be end of the line for them. So, as we said, they should not underestimate OG here, because you never know, right? An upset always happens so fast. So you can bet that they're gonna play classic UE Wombo combo. This is how they took down reliably teams in week 7 and week 8 through easy to execute compositions. We saw things like Malphite, Nocturne, Shen, Galio. So first pick Jarvan is a key component to the UE playstyle we've seen from them since 2 weeks ago. And OG on their side, just gonna pick Xayah and Rakan, just like the game was played, yeah.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, Rasen made a pretty bad case of recalling in the middle of the lane. Fortunately, he will have learned from that, and hopefully he will have a better performance than last game on the duo. So, yeah. With
hopefully
that,
he can change it. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
With that, UE are gonna respond with the bot lane picks as well. So it's Ezreal, Tam, Kench. Again, it's a duo of global ultimates. Ezreal, Tam, Kench to is a very powerful duo that can roam around the map so much in the mid game. And even though Ezreal took a blow with the tier build that you cannot buy 2 tier items anymore, it's still very powerful because you just replace the Archangel with a Luden, or you do the Hextech Gunblade sooner in the build. So it's not that much of a blow, but it still is a nerf of the pick. And Ezreal is able to buy pressure, roam around the map, and that is exactly how UE have been playing the map and the game recently. So I think that going for this fits them very well.
Yeah, going for something that fits them very, very well. They look pretty solid, the drafts overall, I would say. Obviously, I am not a mastermind in the League of Legends game as you are, Sherlock, so I can't really judge it 100%, but I like the pick we're seeing here. We're seeing a Jarvan. Very solid pick overall, has been high tier in both competitive and, or competitive is basically LEC, and also these more amateur leagues, so we're seeing them all around. The bands are moving forward in the end of the game. Or here we remove a Katarina just picked last game actually on the side of a mega team. Did steal a Drake, so they get some work out of it. And actually was one of the players doing better. QN, or whatever you want to call him, is doing good on this Katarina, and obviously they take it away.
Yeah. Now the Kindred going to be taken away, but jungler is still left to be picked. You've got to highlight the fact that OG decided to pick the Scion on the last pick of their first pick phase, because Chaos is really comfortable on tank picks, and especially on the Scion, he's been playing that a lot. So even though they already know, they already see the Jarvan in the hands of UE, they say, we don't know if Jarvan is going top or jungle, so we're just gonna go with Scion.
Oh my god, he is gonna pick Anivia. Okay, quickly, I want to talk. Colin and Anivia, yeah, it's over. Now, okay, not saying it's over, but Colin on Anivia has been an insane pick so far. He has been smurfing hardcore on it. And they pick up a Silas, who's also an insanely strong pick recently.
Yeah, that means the Jarvan is definitely going into the jungle, unless we see some heavy shenanigans with Silas jungle. We've seen that in a minor league, if I remember well. But against Sion, it's definitely going to be Silas top. And Veigar as an answer to the Anivia.
An answer that I actually don't know how this matchup plays out, but it's obviously a scaling matchup on both sides. Colin's Anivia is dirty. It beat teams like Glorious Gaming before, and just overall looks so incredibly solid. Teams have usually been starting to take it away from Colin, but OMG doesn't decide to do that. Decide to focus on some other bands, banning, for example, the Riven or the Ivory, and something like the Vayne, and denying that from John, which he did play last game, which they won, by the way. So they are going to go for this 2-0 week, and with this composition, I feel like they are playing some comfortable picks that they can definitely play their game on, and if they do that to the top of their potential, it is going to be going well. But I do want to mention this. I don't know what quite exactly is going on here from the side of Omega Team. Kyutsaya or Quitsaya, whatever you want to call him. He's going into the jungle with the Mumu. And Matt is going to go Vega mid lane. Like, that is a role for that bamboozled each and every single one of us, I expect.
Yeah, I definitely was waiting for them to swap, and then I was like, wait, really locking that in and going into the jungle. So it's gonna be a bit of a cheesy strat, I feel like. So anyway, Veigar is definitely going into the mid lane, because if Sion goes there, he's gonna get smashed by the Anivia. Veigar Anivia is actually an Anivia favored matchup, because Veigar, there's not much he can do besides just stacking his AP. But Anivia has so much wave clear. Whenever she hits the level 6, she can just push the minions under the towers just way faster than Veigar can farm those minions with his Q spells. So Veigar is actually going to miss out on CS and de facto on AP. And that means Anivia will always have the mid prio as soon as you hit the level 6. And knowing how Psycho has brought a lot to UE recently, and how they have Ezreal and Tam Kench, you bet that Colin will be roaming a lot around the map and will be using that mid prio. So the way I expect this game to be played is UE, they don't have the 2v2 matchup in the bottom lane, because Xayah Rakan is more aggressive than Ezreal Tam Kench, and you actually have the priority as the Xayah, because Ezreal's Q spells don't push the waves that much compared to the deadly plumage of Xayah. So because of that, I want Psycho to try and play around the bot side of the map, get the dive maybe onto the OG bot lane with Ezreal and Tam Kench. There is a lot of dive potential here if they ever manage to, say, get the wave in their favor, and also towards the mid lane, because top you have a Sion and a Sylas. Sylas is not going to carry the game, and putting down the Sion is not a good idea, because he's a tank. Obviously, he'll do just fine, even if he's 0-10. So Psycho has nothing much to do in the top lane. So definitely going to expect him to play around the bot side of the map, maybe even a bit of vertical jungling here, as Amumu is starting on his blue buff, or he could be starting on the enemy blue buff. So we'll get to see that in a moment. We're in the loading screen for now.
Yeah, so you were talking about this Amumu Vega being the cheese pick, but as our great caster's cousin once said, named Flexius, it is a flex pick. They are pulling it out, and let's see if it can connect in the win here. We are getting into the game in a very short amount of time. Unknown enemy are trying to keep that playoffs up alive, but can Omega Team stop them in their tracks? The UE hype train is going all aboard. Let's see what OG can do to it.
The thing is, though, Omega Team have been showing consistently that they tend to draft mostly on-foot picks, and they just try to play the games with their skill on their champions, and not using what their champions bring to the composition as a team, if you get what I mean. Like, Sion has a lot of roaming potential, and you can actually join a side lane every time with his ult to get a number advantage on the side lane, but you never see OG doing that. So what I want to see from OG this game is actually to stop the Fiesta games where you have 2 kills per minute. And
I would love to see some Clown Fiestas. Clown Fiestas are fun. But I would also like to see a drawn-out, close, well-played League of Legends with some great macro play.
Yeah, and the problem with the way that Fiesta, the problem with the way OG play Fiesta games is that they only do skirmishes, and the problem with skirmishes is that whenever you just go on full team fighting, you're not playing the map properly, not at this level of play. So that means it all breaks down to individual skill, and if you compare OG's individual skill to that of UE, I think that UE are going to win this game. Colin is so strong on that Anivia. Psycho has been mechanically talented. Remember, he was the previous LGM jungler. And I haven't seen enough of Riven to judge him. But what I know that Jonart is actually a reliable AD carry, and Ezreal Tam Kench is so safe that you cannot you can't possibly lose this lane hard. So
You can't lose it too hard, you know. Xayah Rakan, they're dirty. They're very dirty.
Yeah, sure, but remember it's a cleanse on the Tankage, so you don't have such a great all-in potential at level 6 that you would normally have as a Xayah or a Khan. And you also have the Arcane Shift that can cancel the CC. So there again, it's gonna be a pretty boring bot lane, unless we get some junglers to interfere with this. As you can see, both junglers are starting on the bot side of the map. Psycho decides to do the red into Krogs. He's gonna normally...
go where? Who knows?
Yeah, I was expecting him to go to the bot lane, to the bot side scuttler.
He might be doing that now, when we
Yeah.
think about it. And
He's-
we've talked about
stepping onto
much
a ward.
about Psycho. Yeah, he's on a ward. Is he?
Means that OG will have their
Yeah,
position, so Quesia
they-
could be looking to vertical jungle a bit. He's gonna go in the top side himself, which is good for him because with the Amumu, you usually don't have the 1v1 in the early levels. So if you can get hold
Oh,
on,
yeah, in the mid lane, you've talked so much about Psycho. He is coming for his redemption arc. Goes onto map, I might have to stretch away from the column Q to stay alive, and he does so successfully.
and it's already flash blown in the mid lane. As I said, I wanted Psycho to play around mid and bots, so he's doing exactly that. And
Like, we are
2v2.
continuing fighting over here. Psycho and Quitsire is duking it out for the Flag and Dragon way. Will ensure Psycho stays alive.
And yeah, so as I said, Quesia just grabbed himself the top side scuttler. You're very happy with that as the Amumu because you don't have the pressure on enough pressure to walk up in the river. But now he walks.
Sure, like, you
he walks
are
on
very
the top
happy
lane.
about getting that top lane skull. So happy that you're gonna gank in the top lane. Then we'll just try and run away. I think he will get out here quietly and just to secure. But Quitsire tries to cry him down, but not enough damage in the early game.
Eventually, Raven will just walk his way out of this because
Just quietly
Yeah.
walking out.
Quesia knows that Psycho is topside, so he doesn't want to chase that much into the topside jungle of UE. He knows that doing so could result in a 1v2 in the favor of UE, so good call from him not to chase that one too deep. And if you break down the early jungle action of the game, it's one flash blown for Psycho, and
Psycho still has his flash actually, he didn't use it.
yeah, he's holding on his flash, but he made someone blow a flash.
He can go mid again.
And yeah, I'm just expecting Psycho to walk back mid and try to get an advantage off of that, because Vigar has blown his TP and his flash, so now he's sitting in a bad spot. And even though he has a very few CS lead over Colin, Colin's actually gonna get the farm up again. And you can even see that top lane, he has mid lane, sorry, he has a slight XP advantage over Matt. He got his level 5 sooner. But because Colin is playing with a cleanse instead of a
Psycho's
TP,
coming mid once again. You've been talking about this mid lane quite a lot, and this time Matt will fall. He doesn't have a flash, he doesn't have any way to get out. And Colin quietly and solidly picks up first blood. I also quickly want to mention, before going to more analytical stuff, that I have been informed that our production team or our observer has a cursor in the middle of the screen. So let's see if there's anything he can do about removing that to improve the little health of the stream. But at least now he is informed and he'll try to do his best to sort it out. Thank you for your understanding.
and yeah, so as I said, Psycho doing the difference in the mid lane. Chaos trading a little bit here.
Yeah, they're trading very big. The Kingslayer, though, from Riven misses Chaos and doesn't heal him anything. And now, Quitsire is on his way back up. He has been loving this top lane so far. But Riven can steal the unstoppable onslaught and get away. Will he, though? He knows
Yes,
he's
the
nice to
Amumu
steal.
ultimate.
The Amumu ultimate, and now he's going to turn it around to Quitsire. He's only level 4, has to flash away. They're going on to Chaos. Chaos doesn't have any flash. There are no flash available. But no one dies yet. The smite doesn't quite kill him as he pops the potion. Stays alive. Riven goes
Looking
in
for
though,
it.
with the Kingslayer, gets one. Slays one Kings, but gets slayed himself right after as KX picked up that kill.
It started good for UE. They made the top side duo lose both of their flashes in one move, and then Riven just wanted some more, so he he got a little too hungry and didn't wait for Psycho to walk around the wall, and ended up losing his life on that dive. Meanwhile, Vigar trying to roam a little bit, because he was obviously taking advantage of Colin's recall. Psycho.
Yeah, Psycho, he's finding quiet side once again. The wall would be there, so he's trying to take a different path, but it's not going to lead him out alive. And Colin takes another kill, 2-0 on his famous destroying Irelia. Now, why did I say Irelia? It was a Nivea. Monkeys.
Oh, getting a little messed up here. Yep. So, as I said, with the Amumu, you cannot walk in the river. You don't have a priority, so you cannot just think that the scuttler is yours if you don't have the position of the enemy jungler. That's why you see that kill happen in the river. And now Psycho has a clear advantage over Quetsia, who is already sitting on one death. He doesn't have his flash available, and now he's in a clear CS deficit. So Psycho there again doing the difference in the jungle for UE. Now we're gonna see how he manages to play around the lead he got to make the rest of his team snowball, because he has a Jarvan and he's playing against Vigar, Xayah, Rakan. Unfortunately for Psycho, Rakan provides a lot of peel. Xayah has her ultimate, so she cannot be easily dived onto. And you also have Vigar E that deters you from going in carelessly. So that means Psycho is not the one who will be able to carry here. I'm more looking towards Colin and Jonart in the mid game. So
a fight in the bot lane does break out though. Psycho is fighting two people as they will turn around.
Down.
Ooh, the curse of the set moment comes out. It does stun up Psycho, but the two ship of Rast does a lot of damage onto Rakan. But the fellas get pulled back by Rast and does a big amount of damage. But Hanad has the big shield and he will stay alive. A few people get taken low, but no one dies in this bottom lane fight.
And because Psycho blew all of his damage onto a single target too early in the fight, while his allies weren't there, they were not able to follow up on the Cataclysm to deal damages and get an actual kill. And on the side of OG, they were stuck because of their positioning. The tri-bush is very hard for them to get into, so they had trouble dealing their damages to the Jarvan, and it gave Hannes enough time to get near enough and get the Devour off.
With Sam might get caught out here again. He goes in to try and get some trade, and here comes the Hannes and John squad. Actually, the party bus comes in, but Lucian rests now here to try and keep him safe. The shields, everything, the flash forward, and the quickness gets used. Jumps out and takes the blast cone to safety. John flashes forward. He doesn't want to give up. He picks him up with the Q, but now Resin is a bit too far forward. Has to flash out, and as well on the other end of the fight, Psycho is trying to chase down Matt. He has flashes himself, but the fellas get pulled back. Picks up Hanad. Ooh, that's a lot of damage from the Blade Caller.
Yeah, the feather skull makes it a 1-for-1. I thought that Lucio actually did super well with that grand entrance and the quickness to get his teammates out of troubles. So it ended up being a 1-for-1, but all of OG's members had to recall, and Psycho's just gonna get a free Drake now. Unless
Lucio is here to try and annoy him a bit. Does actually kill him and will take the Drake off of it. No, Jenna and the boys are coming over there, but will it be enough? Because Reston is here as well. They might try and chase him down, and they won't. Oh, they will get the Drake.
Oh my.
Jared fails the steal, and that was a bit of confusion right there.
Yeah, I think that Psycho was overestimating his damages as the Jarvan in the early game, because he already has a warrior enchant. So he might have thought that he was able to solo the Drake fast enough. And even though all of OG's members recalled after that fight, UE did not assist Psycho. UE did not assist Psycho in doing the Drake. So OG had time to go all the way back from their base to the Drake and get the kill onto Psycho and get the Drake for themselves. You still have to praise OG though, because tonight they have been getting every single Drake so far, and that's actually a very good thing for them. You know, you gotta level up your game one step at a time, and objective control is usually something that a lot of teams struggle with, but OG seems to have that well in their pocket.
They have it up in that pocket, and they also have a gank in the mid lane up there. Looking at Mad once again, he does no deflection. He will fall as Colin takes that out of there. Hits it out of the park with his third kill of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Quiet Size actually might try and come in here. The flag and drag gets Psycho out on the
river.
Safety. I don't really know what is going on because so much action is happening. The top lane every time between our eyes there. It's trading. Riven Chaos just going at each other, beating them with a wet noodle. Basically, Riven will be doing some damage in the later stage of the game, but currently it is just a wet noodle fight going on up here. They're just slowly hitting each other like, hey, look at I can do this, I can heal off you.
Psycho,
hey.
stop side and quit
Oh, wait, fight in the bot lane will come out. The Grand Instance comes up, but it does miss, but Heather gets stood up. Either way, he does have the big gray shield, and he will pop it, but it will not be his safety. He will die as Lucio picks up that kill. 2-1 on the support. Not getting the assist, but doing what his team needs to try and get themselves in the game.
Doing what his team needs, but unfortunately, if that's 2 kills on the Rakan and only a single kill on the Xayah, it's looking a bit disappointing for OG. I think that's.
Are they trying to dive? They're definitely trying
looking
to
for a dive.
He respects it and say, okay, guys, I'm backing off. No worries, you can have some turret plates.
Everyone knows how an Ezreal dive can go. You know, you land the CC, you take the aggro, and then he dashes off with the icon shift, and you say, you're just alone under the tower, and you look at your HP bar melting, and you're like, well, that was a mistake.
You're sitting there like the this is fine meme. Like, yeah, everything is on fine. You're like, this is fine.
This is fine.
It's fine. And talk about something being fine, the bot lane is a bit of an interesting place. It's going decently for both lanes, I would say. In one lane, it's going fine, you know. If we take a look at the gold, it's all even between the ADCs, the supports. A 1k difference in favor of Lucio, and now Hannah might be caught far. Too far forward. Can pop the grey shield just in time, but the quickness has been used. And will they kill him in the end? Yes, another kill for Lucio, and he gets taken down with the bounty this time. And now Jonah and Psycho tries to get the last one, but will not this time. As Chaos comes in as backup, Quit Side goes forward once again. The smite onto Jonah to try and slow him down, but will he have the icon shift in time? Yes, he will, but the unstoppable. But the decimating smash will hit him, but it won't set him up this time. Now the flag and Drex come out from Psycho once again, but they realize Brasson's there, and they will try and get away. But Colin comes, and he does a shit ton of damage, deletes Brasson, and now they will try to turn it onto Chaos. The two-shot barrage and everything was used. Janet almost goes down, but can Chaos get onto him? No, he can't. Will the zombie be able to? I don't think so. It will get slowed down by the big storm. And the wall says, no, dude, you're not getting over here. Goodbye.
And Colin already 5-0-2 on a hyper-scaling mage. What can you ask more from this guy?
If you are Colin, like, you can't ask for more. Colin is insane on this Anivia. I also want to do a quick reminder to any team playing your unknown enemy in the upcoming weeks. Ban Anivia or you will get destroyed. Just a bit warning to you guys out there.
We've seen what he can do with the Anivia, but we've also seen other picks like the Galio, the Lissandra, that he plays really well and very coordinated with the rest of his team. So even though he's very good on Anivia, he's a talented player in general, and communications is actually flowing well within the team, and that makes them able to coordinate their play, especially with Psycho and Colin. I feel like these two are always together, trying to get the mid priority and then making it snowball onto another lane.
They are definitely snowballing currently. Colin though will take a bit of damage, does have to use the cleanse to get out. Quit Side comes in again, and now he just wants to get away, but the lonely mummy won't as the flag and drags come out. The flash from Quit Side to get away will keep him alive, but now Mad also has to flash.
That was a great stun that might have saved their life.
Yeah, the fight is continuing though as the Blade Caller stuns up panel. He has the Grey Shield, it will pop. The ultimate from Mad One-Card Quillen, the quickness though will be his death sentence. Hannah will go down, but on the other end, Colin is popping off. taking
Rest
down
of the
Mad.
team is
Now he's
collapsing.
trying to 1v4. What are you doing? He is way too far ahead. He gets stunned up by a huge cataclysm. He does have the ace to try and keep him alive, but in comes the entire backup, and he is doing his master plan as Women picks up 2. He gets a triple kill. Oh my god, Chaos runs into the wall, and he will drop it. Jana picks up that kill. Colin with the masterful 1v4 start of the play.
And as I said, they are coordinating so damn well. The moment they take this fight, you can see Riven already coming down from the top lane to assist his team. And then, because it takes too much time to...
Wait, is Mad Revenge dead here? He might get Dovin on the toe with Riven, he just TP'd in. And man, I feel so bad for him. But the Kingslayer will take him down. And today is not Mad Revenge's day. The Revenge is not gonna come today, buddy, as you're 0-5-2.
And Revenge sure is a king, because he's taking it all right now. Look at this. Look at the top side of the map. Look at the KDA, the score line of UE members.
Oh wait, he just found Lucio. He might just kill him here. He does connect with the stun. The last Kingslayer available.
Lost
No,
enough
he's
damage
now
to
against
fight.
3 people. He does have the steal of the ultimate, steals the quickness to try and quick his way out of there. Will get devoured out quickly. Will he take his buddy handle with him on the journey? He will. And they will both try and run out, but they just won't give up on the chase. But now, the body John is here, and he will see what he can do. He does have some good damage. Has the face, has the shield, has the first item. The quickness comes out, and Lucio won't get hit by it. This time, will in the end actually as the chain connect. But now he might go down the ignite. Denies a lot of his healing, but won't quite kill him off as the blade caller doesn't do enough damage. Now Jenna goes forward. He is doing his best to carry the team. Gets the double kill. Now Matt is here to try and do something, but he does do nothing in terms of damage. And they will run together as the BM comes out with the thumbs up emote. And we survive. Or OD survive with 2 members alive and Chaos enjoying his time in the top lane.
And hopefully it's going to be a Cloud Drake for UE this time, at least.
Hopefully Lucio won't come in and kill Psycho and Seal this time, you know.
Well, his Ignite is off cooldown, so...
Yeah, Quiet Side might also be dead here. Misses the bandage or whatever that is. I think actually it's a bandage touch. He's trying to get
Yeah.
out, but Colin is just surrounding him, throwing everything at him, and oof.
How do you even go 7-0-7 on an Evia in 18 minutes?
I don't know, how are you playing this well as Colin? I think we might be having an encounter here. I do mistake Colin from being not playing this game, and Froggen might have subbed in. I don't know, obviously. It could be because this Riven... Oh wait, this Riven is doing amazing as well. The Primordial Burst just uses his ultimate and kills Mad Revenge with it. But Colin and Riven smurfing today. The entirety of unknown enemies smurfing today, you can say. And they're having such a good day to try and keep the players hope alive. Collins is even taking the 1v2 as Rasen gets forced to use the Further Storm as he tries to survive the storm. Now
Riven
he can
giving-
damage onto Rasen. To hand it, does stun him up with the Blade Caller, but it won't be enough. As Riven is here to make sure he stays alive. The wall just throwing him off, saying, no, buddy, you're not getting any closer to my teammates. And Riven will get out, and everyone survives in the end.
Everyone survives, but for how long, Dockling?
How
Because-
long?
Yeah, how long? I'm saying that because look at the gold lead. We were
Oh
busy fighting
god,
the
we
whole
are 3
time.
minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, we're fighting the whole time without noticing the gold lead that grew ever larger as UE racked up the small skirmishes and the kills. And now it's a 10,000 gold lead at
Oh
20
my
minutes.
god, Jordan just
He might just be dead!
can't do that to a man, buddy. He has family. Obliterates him with just 3 spells, and I don't know what Mad Revenge should feel today. He should
Now it's
try and
gonna
get revenge another time.
Yeah,
Wow.
now it almost feels like it's gonna be the final push with this Herald at 20
Oh
minutes.
my god, I don't know. Rasen will fall here as well. As Jenna picks up another one, Lucio has to grant entrance away. Chaos, what
Yes,
can you
balls.
do? You
I
can
think
give
Anita
some
will-
more gold over to Jonah. The Ensemble Onslaught won't be enough. He gets stunned up. Tico will take him down. Tico might die. No, the Devour saves him. And they're continuing to push. Will we see a dancing rift held? We might even Mad Revenge. What can you do this time? You're 07, buddy. Good luck. You might just get taken down instantly. Wait, okay. Quiet Side decided not to let the rift held dance today. He might survive. No, Riven takes him down. I don't know what more to say, as it's gonna be an obliteration of Omega Team. Rest might be able to pop off here with the Spellstorm. No, just 0 damage in total, and it is looking so tough for them. Caused by the feathers, but those feathers ain't hitting anyone.
Well, it looks like UE wants to go to the safe route, so I bet they're just gonna recall and go for that Baron now.
Going for the
Finally,
Baron.
yeah.
You know what that
and-
tells me? That tells me that Quid Sire wants to try and get the steal. It's always a possibility. I'm always hoping for it. You cannot be I believe I played Castle and not hope for a Baron steal. It just makes the
Well,
games more exciting, and it will also be a nice touch for Omega Team to not make the loss look as bad as it's looking right now.
sure, Darkling, Quetsia might go for the steal, but let me just put on my honest hat for a second. So here we go. Honest hat enabled.
What does it
If
tell
Quetsia,
you?
if Quetsia, well, if it tells me that if Quetsia goes into the Baron pit and gets the steal, now it's a 4v5 in favor of UE with the mid lane open.
Oh. Ooh, I thought someone
And-
was gonna get caught up. Mad Revenge, just a bit of damage to Psycho. Good block. Good there. Good done, buddy. You did a little bit more damage than you have been doing over the past of this game. But now, though, unknown enemy are onto the Baron. There is no idea this is going on from the side of Omega Team. If they give this over, this is gonna be game. Quatsi and Cyan knows this. He's trying to make his way in, but he knows he's gonna die. The
Quetsia is
stun hits
here,
onto
but he
him.
gets stunned.
They know that they're onto it now because they can feel that something is in the water. Oh wait, don't they? Wait, will unknown enemy back off here? They will. And now the grand entrance hit too, but it's not gonna be enough.
Riven's on the
And
side.
now here comes Riven. The curse of the sad mummy is a sad story for Omega Team as they will get taken down here. The two-shot harass misses, but Riven won't give up on the Lucio kill. Mad Revengeful fall as well, gets one with the primordial burst. And that is his first kill of the game. Just gonna make it so he's worth more gold, and that's instantly gonna be taken over to Riven. He is continuing walking forward, just running down Omega Team, and Jonathan takes down Lucio on the other end. And Jonathan is smurfing his way to the win with the other team, along with the other players on unknown enemy. Chaos will run, and he's forced all the way out of his base. And this is gonna be the game as unknown enemy will keep their playoffs hopes alive. They want to get in, they want to get playoffs, and they need to beat CDX next week to have a chance. But so far, so good for the teams. They take a 2-0 week and a few more kills and a triple kill for Jonathan to end it out. As Zombie Cyan does no damage, and it's gonna be game over in favor of unknown enemy.
And well, even though OG didn't put up much resistance because they committed to a lot of mispositions and also a lot of understanding of how to play around the lane priorities and how to play when you don't have lane prio. You've got to give credit to UE for always playing as a team, whatever the circumstances. Every time they draft a composition that they manage to play all together. It's not just Silas, it's Silas into this UE composition. It's not Colin on Anivia, it's Anivia that roams bot, get the picks, get the catches on the river, plays around with Psycho, and even though I was expecting a bit more map presence from the Ezreal Tankens duo, they actually played the bot lane well enough. Yonat and Colin never died in that game, and Yonat basically stomped that game 11-0-8. So yeah, just props to UE. Hope they keep their dreams alive. I'm among the first with Viprune to be on the UE hype train with Viprune and Darkseal. So
You can't say that, dude. I created the UE hype train.
you
Either way,
created the UE
we are
hype train.
both on the unknown enemy hype train, to say the least. They have a tough road ahead of them if they want to get the playoffs. They need to take Sea Dogs off that spot. They are 0-1 to them in head-to-head so far. And they're going to
Yeah.
be playing them next week as well as CPA. So tune back then to see that. We do have some tiny things before closing out the stream today. For example, Sea Dogs, we can quickly talk about them. They are the other playoff team, and we are talking about unknown enemy Sea Dogs who will get the spot. Currently, Sea Dogs are 1 win ahead. And they also have more games to play. So what unknown enemy needs is to take down Sea Dogs. And one thing that unknown enemy has in favor of them is Sea Dogs have a tough week 11. In that week 11, they're gonna be playing Team Alpha and Royal Reapers. Those are 2 hard matchups. And it's
Yep.
what Unknown Enemy wants if they try to get into playoffs. They want to beat Seedox and then Seedox to lose in that week 11 while they themselves take a win.
They really need the Cinderella story to happen, but it feels like UE has a subscription to Cinderella stories in the past. So hopefully it's going to give us some interesting unfolding of events. Well,
Yeah, we have to round
Just
it
to-
off today, so we're like,
just to conclude, Darkling, in your opinion, who was the MVP of the game for UE?
my MVP was Psycho. I know this sounds weird. There were so many star players. Everyone played well on an enemy today. Hanan had the toughest day of them all, but he still played a decent game, we could say. And Psycho, he was the one getting the early flash out of mid, made Colin get so far ahead by giving him these kills. Then he came top lane, got Riven a kill, got him 2. So he just helped the lane snowball, and then when they hit that, they were able to just run over the game and get everyone fed. So I would give mine to Psycho.
Well, I already gave my MVP to Psycho in week 7, and since you're voting for Psycho, I'm going to root for Colin because he actually took such an incredible amount of smart decisions throughout this game that it cannot go unpraised. So I'm going to root for him. Just type your player of the game in the chat to see who you are rooting for, and that's gonna be it for today for me and Darkling.
Yeah, we are gonna have to round it out here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have more action coming up at 7 p.m. Central European Summertime. I do believe next Tuesday. I can't tell you the match currently on top of my head, but don't miss it. We are getting closer and closer to playoffs. And every single win counts. Unknown Enemy and Seedox looking for that playoff spot. We'll see who takes the win when they play next week. Either way, this has been it for me and Sherlock. Wish you all a good evening, and thank you for coming.
It's cold outside, but I'm not worried for tonight. I shut my eyes and I'm alright. And if I fall, you'll catch me. They are waiting now for me to stand and make them frown. I know I'll make it through somehow when I have you to guide me. And now I see I am an answer. I am the silence in the world. Just a figure in the dark. This is the calm before the storm. If I fall, you'll catch me. Push me back up on my feet. Be the strength inside of me. A burning fire that you feed. I want you to know it wasn't clear to me before. The gravity of what you are. You see the good inside of me, even when I cannot believe. I see it all through you. You're right. No one's guarantee. This is exactly what I need. You made me lose sleep, but at least now I see. I am the answer I am the silence in the world. Just a figure in the dark. This is the calm before the storm. If I fall, you'll catch me. Push me back up on my feet. Be the strength inside of me. A burning fire like you. I brushed it off, pushed it aside, but I was looking for you. I'm always looking for you.